Coming up, using music to cure stress.
This is not the usual way I spend an afternoon, sitting in a doctor's room wearing headphones and flashing goggles. But as bizarre as it looks, this machine is supposed to relieve me of stress. The lights, along with clicking sounds piped through the headphones, are forcing my brain to produce alpha waves, which create a more relaxed state of being. This is just one of a new range of techniques being used to treat modern society's stress, a disorder that costs the United States alone $150 billion each year in absenteeism and medical costs. According to the American Academy of Family Physicians, 66% of all medical problems are stress-related. Hospitals all around the world are full of people whose diseases are caused and accelerated by stress. This hospital, St. Luke's in Pennsylvania, is breaking new ground in addressing the often ignored problems of stress and chronic pain.
I believe almost all illnesses relate to stress to some degree, but in particular, diseases of hypertension, high blood pressure, angina, ulcer disease, colitis, and headaches, and many skeletal muscular problems as well.
The Institute has brought together under one roof a host of specialists and therapies that examine not only the illness, but the psychological and emotional states of the patient. The clinic relies on a mixture of ancient and traditional healing techniques, along with the very latest that technology has to offer. Dr. Kaziki was determined that the clinic should also be a forum for therapists to test new techniques, like the synchroenergizer we saw earlier. They say it's not only a stress reliever, the lights and sounds stimulate different parts of the brain and balance the two hemispheres, clearing everything from writer's block to some forms of chronic pain. Although acute pain is a basic defense mechanism for the body, chronic pain is an entirely different syndrome that's treatment requires not only physical work, but emotional, social, behavioural and the like. Don suffers from chronic back pain, one of the most common chronic afflictions. The machine he's strapped into is an ergonometric spinal analyzer, and it tests the range of movement in his trunk. The machine is linked to a computer that graphs the exercise, highlighting the centres of pain and the areas of improvement. By translating the action into numbers and graphs, the computer is making the problem less subjective and more tangible, something a patient can more easily deal with. And another thing, because the results are plotted, it makes it impossible to consistently fake the pain. But when it came to electrotherapy, it looked more likely to dish out the pain than take it away. In the early part of the century, electricity was used quite extensively for healing. Dr. Kaziki is keen to revive the art. This is a Tesla coil that generates a static form of electricity. It's a charge of high voltage but low current, so there's no chance of electrocution. It's known that electricity can heal bones. Here, they're researching its ability to heal soft tissue. They've already had encouraging results with shingles and certain chronic problems. The doctor assured me that it was painless and safe, but I think I'd seen too many Frankenstein movies to trust him. Ow. Dr. Kaziki designed this room himself after hearing of a survey where Americans were asked what relaxed them most. In order, it was watching television, listening to music, and having a hot bath. He's combined all three in this hydrotherapy room. I'm still not convinced that spending a weekend in the country, or even in your own bath, wouldn't have the same effect. It's often said that music has healing properties. Medical institutes around the world are working on musical therapies, and it's possible the health benefits of music may soon pass from folklore to the more mainstream doctrines. This machine is one of the star attractions of the Gateway Institute. Called the Genesis system, it's a sophisticated biofeedback machine that gives you a musical massage. As I lie here, I'm literally surrounded by speakers. There are 5 above the bed and 4 below. Embedded in the mattress is a network of sensors that gauge how much sound is passing through my body and onto the bed. If I'm tense, my muscles will block the passage of sound. But as I relax, more and more of the music will hit the senses. The sensors tell the computer at which frequency they're receiving the sound, and the machine then automatically produces more of that frequency. So the more you relax, the louder and more resonant the sound becomes in the frequencies that are making you feel best. Machines like this have been installed in a number of clubs and health centres around America, and at about $1 a minute for the average session, the experience doesn't come cheap. The Gateway Institute isn't the only clinic branching out in this field. Over the past 10 years, we've seen an explosion of research findings suggesting that the mind and body act on each other to influence our health.
If the mind and anxiety can induce illness, we can utilize the mind to promote health as well.
It's a real indictment of our society that we need tools to help us relax. But because modern living does provide an overload of distractions, sensory deprivation chambers like this and all the other therapies we've seen may soon become part of mainstream medicine. And clinics like the Gateway Institute may be an adjunct to every hospital. As for me, it's been a long, hard day, so I'll see you later.
After the break, improving on the taste of nature in the laboratory.